Hope everyone had a good weekend. We're going to try to get our Monday off to a good start. I don't know if Monday the 13th is bad luck or not. Friday the 13th, yeah, we know about that. I don't know about Monday the 13th. But so far, going along all right. Let's hope we have some good luck tonight in the break. We do have a little bit of information that I like to go over with everyone before we actually get started ripping. So while people are getting in and getting settled, I am going to get started with that. So feedback is automated. Anytime you leave positive feedback for me on eBay, you will instantly get positive feedback in return because, yeah, it's automated. I love it. You never have to wait. And, of course, I also want to say thank you for being here. I appreciate it very much. I'm grateful that you choose to bid and break with me, and I always like having the company. So hanging out and chatting is also very much appreciated. And this is on the wrong tab, isn't it? That's not usually what we look. Whoa, that's not usually what we look at next. And then I just made it even worse, didn't I? Let's see if we can flip them. Did that do it? It did not do it. Let's try that. Now did it fix it? Yeah, all right. Now I think we're all right. So, looking at what's coming up in the days ahead. Tomorrow night, we are breaking a full case of TriStar Game Day Greats autograph football jerseys. They happen to be Series 2. And then Finest Baseball. We're going to break a full case of that tomorrow night as well. On Wednesday, we have 2 new releases. We're going to break them both. It will be a half case of Obsidian Basketball and a full case of Luminance Football. In both instances, those are loose boxes from shared cases. On Thursday night, we're going to break another case of Absolute Baseball. Those also loose boxes from shared cases. And the theme of the week is loose boxes from shared cases. Of course, we all know the story behind Bowman this year. Most of it was that way this year, unfortunately. Some shipping irregularities. But we are going to open a 4-box half case of Bowman Jumbo HTA. Also known, Jumbo is same as HTA baseball. And that is in a half case quantity. And Saturday and Sunday will both be off nights. Now, here's what you need to know about what we are opening tonight. Legacy Football, I'm hoping to have out the door on Friday. Everything has taken a little bit longer than I thought it was going to take to get out the door, so I'm slightly off track right now, but I'm hoping I'll get us back on track and get this out by Friday. If not Friday, it would be Saturday. And, of course, veteran base cards do not ship to the teams in this break, which was noted in the, I think, all throughout the listing, I think in the title too, etc. It is a separate bidding category. So let's wander on over here. And everybody should hit cards, by the way, so I don't think consolation cards come into play. But if for some reason there is one team that occasionally doesn't pull a card, and if that happens, you will still get a package in the mail, have consolation cards in it. So this is a 12-box inner case of Legacy Football. This is break number 4. It is the last of the Legacy Football, I think, for this year. And, of course, this ended tonight on eBay the same night we are breaking it, which is Monday night, the 13th of July. Our team names are on the left-hand side. The eBay user ID of each winning bidder is across from their team there on the opposite side. And Trevor's here. Hi, Trevor. And veteran base, you'll see down there, once again, its own bidding category. So all the veteran base will go to the person who purchased that category. Now, the last little piece of business here, you are going to notice that your background's going to get blurry, did get blurry. That is on purpose. I don't want you to sweat that because we should still be able to easily see everything that we need to see. If I can stop making a mess. I don't know what I did. I hit something, but anyway, I think I think it's all right now. I hope it is. Trevor wants to know if there are any unpaid teams. There are not tonight, Trevor. Everybody is my hero tonight because everybody paid on time. I didn't have to track anybody down. I didn't have to message anybody and remind them. In that sense, it was a very lucky Monday the 13th. So appreciate everybody for that. All right, we're going to do this the same way I've tried to do it the last couple of times because I think it's ultimately easier, I think. All right. And then we'll just flip them over and get them out of the way. If I can do this without knocking over the tripod, that would be ideal, wouldn't it? At least half the time I knock over the tripod when I try to get all fancy. We're going to try not to do that tonight. Okay, so what are we looking for in here? Somewhere it's going to tell us 2 autographs per box on average. Panini's 2 favorite words, on average. So, on average covers a couple of different things. It is a little CYA for Panini if they mess up and leave a hit out, which does happen, but infrequently. The thing that tends to happen more often is that sometimes they'll replace one of our hits with Panini Rewards points. If they do that tonight, we will use random.org at the end of the break to give out those awards points. Now, when we go through this very first box, we'll probably go a little bit slower, and then in subsequent boxes, we'll go a bit faster as we go along. But in the first box, I usually try to spend a little bit of extra time just letting people know what is in there in the way of inserts and things like that. Now, many of you may have broken Legacy before, but because there's always the chance that somebody hasn't, that's why we do it this way. So try to make sure everybody, whoops, kind of knows what's what. And it'll take me a minute, of course, to get all the cards out of the packs. That's the longest part of this break, is getting everything out of the packs. I know that sounds crazy, but trust me. We will spend probably a half an hour tonight doing nothing but removing cards from packs. But that's all right. We eventually get it done. In the end, we just have to go through a little delayed gratification first. Okie dokie. Well, that one stack, man, keeps sliding. It's because these chrome cards are in there, and they get some curvature to them, and then every card that's on top of it, see how that is? They just like to move and spin and slide. It's insane. Makes me crazy. All right, so this is an example of a veteran base card. So it's not a rookie player, so meaning non-rookie, of course, is veteran. It's not numbered, it's not a parallel, it's not an insert, it's just a regular old base card with a veteran player on it. So that is the stuff that goes to veteran base categories. This, of course, is numbered, so it goes to the teams. This particular one is to 299. It goes to the Seahawks. Any kind of inserts we get, like legends, that goes to the teams. Of course, anything, these go in 100 different directions. Anything that says rookie on it, that goes to the teams. There's more veteran base, doesn't go. This is an example of a base rookie chrome card. Now, we will find plenty of those. There will be a few of them that might be refractors or prisms, as Panini likes to call them. And most of them probably won't be. A few of them will be. The ones, they're generally unnumbered even when they are prisms, but we'll get to that when we find one. To 150, there is a Lynn Bowden Jr. The other thing that I should point out, of course, is that these guys are all going to be headed to their current team. Speaking of which, let me grab something here. So, because they're in their collegiate uniforms, as you can see, they're not in their NFL uniforms. So what that really means to us is that sometimes you're going to find a guy in here who was not drafted. But if he has subsequently signed a deal with a team, it's going to go to that team he signed a deal with. If we find somebody who's completely undrafted and unsigned, then we would have to use random.org to give that out. That's an example of the rookie chrome that is a prism parallel, but as you can see, still an unnumbered kind of thing. A couple more rookie base. And, I mean, that's basically how it's going to go. We may have, I don't know, we may have a few other inserts in here that we haven't seen yet, but we should be. We'll come across them all before we get out of this first box, more than likely. Oh, our minis, right? I forgot to talk about our minis. So there are going to be 2 chrome mini cards that come out per box. Some will be numbered, some won't. That one, of course, is, and it is numbered 250, C.J. Henderson there with the blue parallel. There's just another insert. It's called Fan Favorites. We'll see plenty of those as we go along. More veteran base. This, anytime you see this particular color, it's numbered to 25 when we have this teal. I see maybe a little bit of a soft corner. Actually, both those lower corners might have a tiny little bit of chipping and wear on them. Not outrageously so, but just a tiny little bit. And that was Troy Aikman, Dallas Cowboys, and of course, numbered to 25 there. Here's an Under the Lights insert. There'll be lots of these. Some will be prisms, some won't. Some will be numbered, some won't. That is an example of a prism, and it is numbered to 100 for Jacob Eason. I see James, I look over there, I saw James had something typed in, I don't know what. It just says message was retracted. So James, if you had a question and I didn't happen to glance over there at the time it was there to see it, I apologize. If you would like to resubmit whatever your question happens to be, I will certainly do my very best to get it answered for you. And here is another one of our minis. This one is Joe Namath for the Jets. It's the Legends insert set. It is a prism, but it is not numbered. And one of our hits makes an appearance here. It happens to be Cole Kmet, which is going to the Bears, and that is on an Under the Lights insert. And I don't see any numbering on it, but you can get an idea of what I'm talking about. Can you see the curvature on that? Maybe you can't. If you had it in your hand, you would know what I'm talking about. But it is, they're very curved in here this year. All the chromes are. And this is an example of another numbered card. It's to 299, Fred Taylor and the Jags. I think for the most part, I'll probably just wait and sleeve a lot of that high numbered stuff. Maybe we'll just wait and do it after the break, so it doesn't slow us down so much. You're not waiting on me to sleeve it. Some of the lower numbered stuff we'll probably do as we go, and maybe a little bit of the higher numbered stuff we'll wait on. James says, if you have 2 damaged cards, do you have to do separate tickets? You're talking about like okay, I want to make sure I understand your question. I believe what you're asking me about is when Panini replaces cards that come out of the box or the pack damaged. I think that's what you're asking me about, because they do have a replacement program. And I believe it has been a long time since I've tried to have a card replaced from Panini. That's numbered to 199. It's AJ Epensa. I believe that you will have to create a separate ticket. I think that you can put them all in the same package. At least you used to be able to put them in the same package that you were mailing to Panini, as long as you had all the different, it gives you the sheet to send in, as long as you had all the sheets to send in. But it has been a while since I've done it. I would just, if they're all from the same set, like in other words, if you had 10 damaged cards from Legacy, you might be able to create one ticket for those 10 cards. But if you had, say, one damaged from Legacy and another one from National Treasures and another one from, whatever, Certified, then I think all those would have to be separate tickets. And honestly, it may not even let you do like 10 from the same set that way. But I just think it might. I wouldn't swear to it. So again, it's been 3 years probably since I've tried to submit a ticket to Panini for a damaged card. So if anybody else who's watching has submitted one more recently, feel free to weigh in and help us out there. Well, amazingly enough, both hits out of the first box are the same player. That's numbered to 399. That's Cole Kmet again. So that was a Chicago Bears kind of box, wasn't it? Yeah, that's crazy. I hate when that happens. I mean, it's good if you're the Bears. I'm not knocking that. If you're the Bears, congratulations. But if you're anybody else, you're like, hey, wait a minute. I don't like that plan. Yeah, I understand. The other thing I would say, James, just going back to your Panini damaged card thing, is you can expect to wait a long time to get a replacement. Like the last things I had done, actually it would have been 2016, because they were rookie cards for Dak and Zeke. And I forgot, I can't even think what product they came in. But it was, whatever it was, there was an entire box of it that I bought. And all of the rookies in the whole box were completely miscut. I'm not talking like a little bit off center. I'm talking like completely miscut. You'd see 2/3 of the card you were supposed to have and 1/3 of a card that was completely different. So I did send all of those, not all of them, but I sent the primary rookies that I wanted out of that class in to be replaced. And those weren't autographs or relics or anything. They were just simple rookie base cards. And I want to say that it took something close to 6 months for me to get those back. I mean, it was like an insane amount of time. And I think if whatever it is autographed or relics, then you get into a whole other scenario. So don't expect it to be quick, is what I would say. You said you have a Burrow rookie card bent and a Futures T. Higgins with a scratch in it. Well, if you're talking about the Chrome cards, I have noticed a lot of things with Chrome cards this year where I have seen what looks like some pitting is kind of what I would describe it as. I haven't seen as much scratching. I mean, there's some minor stuff on Chrome that I've seen here and there, but I have noticed more what I'm going to call pitting. And then on a handful, I've noticed something that looks almost like a cut in it. Like, not exactly a cut, but almost like the machine that was producing it had some kind of malfunction that left a mark on it that looks similar to a cut mark. Not exactly a scratch, not exactly a cut, but something similar. So, yeah, and if it's a Chrome card, like when you're talking about it being bent, if it's a Chrome type card, even what they replace it with will be bent, because that's just the nature of it. Unfortunately, that coating that goes on them, that's what causes all these Chrome and Optichrome and all the ones like it. That's what causes them to kind of have that curvature and bow up a little bit. But it does flatten itself out. If you keep it in a top loader, it'll sort itself out, you know. To 150, that is Russell Wilson and the Seahawks. Of course, I don't know if that's what you're talking about, or if you've got, you know, another type of issue. If you've got a paper card that has some, that got bent. I don't know about that, but if it's a Chrome one, yeah, there's a real good chance you'd get it back the same way you sent it out. All right, we've got two different teams on this card. We have got numbered to 25. Ooh, and it's first in the series, number 1 of 25. You've got Jalen Hurts and C.D. Lamb. So we're going to have to put that up in housekeeping, and unless the same person happens to own both of those teams, we'll have to use random.org to give that out at the very end of the night. And, of course, the C.D. Lamb is the Cowboys and Jalen Hurts the Eagles. So those are the two teams that will be in play. And should someone own both, then obviously we don't have to worry. And if we don't have somebody that owns both, then yeah, then we are going to have to worry. Then we're going to have to sort out and figure out who gets it by using random. All right, we have a Charger. This is Lasting Legacies. It's numbered to 25, and it is LaDainian Tomlinson. So another one to 299, Deshaun Watson and the Texans. And here comes a little mini. And I see the other little mini, so I'm going to grab it in a hot second, too. We're just going to get both of them out of the way. And that's just a base one, no numbering, Jalen Rieger. This one will be numbered. It's the red parallel. It is C.J. Henderson, and numbered to 75 there for C.J. Did we already? Yeah, we already looked at those. All right. I don't want to lose my place there and get you messed up. But so there are, of course, a lot of cards in this set. It does take us a good long while to go through them, kind of no matter what. Kind of no matter what you do. It's going to be about an hour and a half to an hour and 45 minutes to get through these tonight. So there is a C.J. Henderson base chrome rookie. And right away, we're going to find our rip card, although I am setting it aside to let you stew on it for a minute while I tell you exactly what it is. Most of you probably know. They are called, in Panini's world, they are called Dare to Tear. They've been around in the Topps world for a long time, known as rip cards. And basically, it's a card, obviously. You can choose to leave it intact exactly like you are going to receive it, or if you're feeling lucky, you can decide to rip it, and there's another little card inside, and there can be different varieties as to what other type of little card is in there. Number to 199, the Honey Badger and the Kansas City Chiefs. So yeah, but here it is. This is our Dare to Tear is coming out first here, or early, I should say. It is numbered to 25, and it's Jimmy G for the 49ers. So there's that. Now we've also got a hit replaced, and that has been replaced here with this 400 rewards point card. So that's now going to join our dual signed card up here in housekeeping. Now we have two things to deal with at the end of the night. So we'll give out that 400 points card then. That's numbered to 299 for the Broncos. And there's another one to 299. That one's your rookie Brian Edwards. So, you know, the SEC came out today and said they're making no changes to their fall schedule, at least as of this point in time. As you know, the Ivy League several days ago canceled all their fall sports, and then you had the Pac-12 and was it Pac-12 and ACC? I don't know. It was Pac-12 and somebody who I still want to call Pac-10, but anyway, they decided they were only going to play their conference games. They weren't going to do any non-conference opponents, etc. And everybody kind of thought the SEC would fall in that model, and the SEC came back and said, no, thank you, we'll do it just like it is. That is numbered to 100. It is Henry Ruggs. So yeah, how about that? SEC's like, no thanks. We'll just act like everything is normal and play our full schedule and hope that we collect all of our television revenue. I don't know. And that's my conference. So I'm kind of digging on them right now for that decision, but it is my conference. So, All righty. Alex, you need some Detroit love. All right, we'll look for, I'm assuming you're looking for Okudah then, probably primarily, Jeff Okudah for the Lions. So we'll see if we can't conjure something up there for you tonight, my friend. Hopefully we'll get lucky. So the NBA's off to a decent start in their little Disney World bubble down there. I think they said only 2 of their players tested positive. but who are down there. But of course, they were still in their little quarantine scenario, so those two people hadn't come into contact with any of the other players or staff or anything, and they just got them out of the little Disney bubble and sent them home to another isolation facility, I think is what they called it. Anyway, so they have to stay away until they pass X number of tests that come back as clean, not positive. And then they'll be able to rejoin their teams. But it's not too bad to only have 2. Major League Baseball's had a little bit more of a problem. They've had quite a few of theirs coming back not quite great. But anyway, they seem to be full steam ahead, both sports. So I guess by the end of the month, maybe we're going to have some live sporting events again. Number to 299, that's worth pointing out particularly because it says Houston Oilers on it. And if you might not know about franchise history, it works like this. Cards always stay with their franchises, okay? So even when a franchise moves and gets a new name and all that, their cards will just basically follow them. So the Houston Oilers of days gone by are the Tennessee Titans of today. They're not the Texans. The Texans are a completely different expansion franchise that came along after the Oilers had left and moved to Tennessee. So any Oilers cards that we happen to find will end up, of course, accordingly going to the Titans. Green is numbered to 100. That one's Austin Hooper for the Falcons. We'll probably see a few more green before we get finished tonight. That is a base chrome, not numbered, not prism. Well, I should say a base rookie chrome, but you saw the rookie part, right? I think you did. I think you knew what I meant, I hope. And hang on one hot second here. Got to get my little, I like to keep my stacks kind of small, so I have to rearrange them. I don't like cards to be stacked super high. All right, there's a mini. It is numbered to 100. It's headed to the Rams, and Tyler Higbee was on the front of it. Why in the world Panini has to have all these cards go in 100 different directions is somewhat beyond me, but seems to be their favorite thing to do. There's a Joe Mixon mini, and it is numbered to 25. The low number of 25. I really hope it doesn't impact the SEC and they really will be able to do what they think they're going to be able to do, but I bet you they're not. I think they're being overly optimistic. How about that? Steelers, you get a nice veteran autograph there. Your sophomore, Devin Bush, numbered to 299. Hoping for a big second year out of Devin Bush. In the black and gold. Not that I'm biased. Number to 199, that was Kenny Golladay for the Lions. Which, of course, means I'm completely biased. I absolutely am. I'm a big-time Steelers fan, so yeah, totally biased. Hey, at least I admit it, right? I should get some points for that. This is a red chrome parallel. It is numbered 250 with A.J. Ipinsa on the front of it. Of course, those little blank cards, I tend to try to always flip them over so you can see the front and the back and just see that they really are blank cards inserted. To 150, Terry Bradshaw, also Pittsburgh. Here is an Under the Lights Jacob Eason, and I thought that was going to be numbered, and they fooled me, and it's not numbered, but that's okay. Maybe we'll find another one that is. We'll try, won't we? See what we can come up with. All right, this went by a minute ago, and I had just decided to kind of, set it back for a minute, so we had something to look at later. Number to 399, that is Steven Montez, and Steven comes out for the Redskins. All right, there is another box in the books. I'll keep on trucking. Y'all are quiet tonight. You got the Monday night blues, the Monday the 13th blues. I tell you what, I was super busy all day long from the minute I rolled out of bed onward, but yet I just felt like I was treading water all day. I don't know. I did definitely get stuff done, but I didn't get nearly as much done as I thought I was going to get done, and everything seemed to take twice as long as it should have. And then I had a big group of stuff that I thought I had time still to get to the post office, because there is a branch not too far from me that stays open until 7. Well, it did. And then when everybody was under the shutdown, and all the businesses were closed and everybody had to, stay home. You guys know what I mean. It moved its hours back, made them shorter. And then I thought, once everything reopened, that they switched their hours back and that they were once again open until 7. Well, guess what I found out the hard way? They are not. They are still at the shorter hours. So I had a whole big bunch of stuff that I thought I was dropping off today and had to not drop off today. So, of course, it'll go out tomorrow. It's already ready to go, but oh well, what are you going to do, right? Well, truthfully, eBay printed tomorrow's date on there anyway, which drives me crazy. Once you get past a certain time of the day when you're printing labels using the eBay system, it just automatically switches the shipping date to the next day, like even if you don't want it to. And sometimes it'll do it early, like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock. Other days it doesn't do it until 4 or 5. I just kind of wish it wouldn't do it at all until the next day. Let me decide the date. So, although I think the post office would have taken it anyway if they had still been open. That was the hard part of that, but had they still been open, I think they would have taken it even with the other date on it. They might have fussed about it, but I think they would have. I used to get my old carrier, used to take it, but then sometimes if you tried to take it into the post office, they would get testy and think you had intentionally tried to post date it or something. It's like, no, man. Just printed that way. All right, we have a blue mini Jonathan Taylor. It's numbered 250. And that is a Chrome Prism rookie, A.J. Dillon. It is not numbered. But given that it is a Prism parallel, that makes it stand out a little bit anyway, right? Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Mini jumped right off the top there. Let's check him out. Well, fortunately, he seems okay. I don't see any. I'm letting you try to let you get a good look at him there, but I don't see any edge or corner issues or anything. Fortunately, it seems to have kind of slid off flat, so that's the good news. It's numbered to 100, and it is KJ Hill on the mini that tried to take off on me. But anyway, so that's the one thing I don't like, is that you have no warning when the minis are going to show up in these packs. And sometimes they do exactly what that one did. And they just slide right off of there. It's to 299. It's a T. Higgins. This one will be numbered to 50. I can tell by the fact that it has that blue border. So let's grab it. We're going to go ahead and sleeve it as we go since it's a little bit lower numbered. It is Mr. Julio Jones for the Falcons, numbered 250. Of course, I've seen both of our hits come up, and I've just kind of deferred them over there to the side. So we'll see those in a minute, one right after the other. This one is numbered to 100, and that is A.J. Dillon with the chrome numbered parallel. And a green one will be numbered to 100. We have Jalen Reagor with the green parallel there. All righty, let's keep on trucking. See who our hits are. Kalijah Lipscomb. It is numbered to 25 there for Kalijah. And bear with me, I've got to take a little peek. I can't remember where Kalijah goes. Kansas City, the Chiefs. And then behind that, our second hit out of this box is Keyshawn Vaughn. And Keyshawn Vaughn is a Tampa Bay Buccaneer. And I thought that might be numbered, but I guess it isn't. So it is a chrome refractor rookie base autograph. Yeah, I think that covered it. All right, that one's numbered to 199 for the Chargers, and that's the last couple out of that box. Had to have a little water break there. So this is the last of the Legacy that we are doing, but of course we will be starting on Wednesday with Luminance Football. You probably remember Luminance. It came out a couple of years ago, like Legacy did. And it, again, has our rookies still in their collegiate uniforms. At least I think it does. Usually, it always has in the past. I haven't specifically looked at the sales materials this year, but I assume it's the same. Generally, Elite is typically our first release where we see our rookies in their NFL uniforms. Now, this year, things may be a little different because of all the stuff that's going on. You know, they didn't have the Rookie Premiere event, which normally is where Panini gets most of their photographs of guys in their NFL gear. It's also where they get a lot of their cards signed by rookies, particularly the hard signed ones. They get them printed real fast for the various sets and let those guys sign them while they're on site for that Rookie Premiere event. And of course that event didn't take place this year, but I'm sure they have made accommodations, but my guess is we'll probably see more sticker autographs in the beginning, especially because obviously guys can return those without having to have things shipped back and forth and all that. But I don't know. I guess they'll figure it out. This is Grant Delpit, and that is the red parallel on the mini. It's numbered to 75. Yeah, I was actually thinking about going to the Rookie Premiere this year. I've been invited to that thing for about 4 or 5 years running, and I've never gone. And this year, obviously before all this started, I had told them, yeah, I think I'll go this year. There's an Under the Lights John Elway. It is a prism, but it is not numbered. And so, yeah, so they like had me on the list, and I used to live in LA and have friends who still live out there, and I thought, oh, I'll just take a little vacation. I'll go see my friends, hang out for a little bit. Oops, no, none of the above. This goes to the Buffalo Bills. It is number 250. It is an Under the Lights Jake Fromm. So, yeah, I know I picked a bad year to say I would go, didn't I? Since there wasn't one. Ah, well, better luck next time. Number to 150, Kenny Golladay and the Lions. All right. And here comes one of our autographs. I'll see again, that's one with just a ton of curvature in that one. Some are worse than others. This one's got a ton of curvature in it. And it is Joe Reed. Once again, just the prism base unnumbered, which is what most of the autographs that are on that chrome parallel in here are going to be, just exactly that. They will be prisms, but they won't be numbered. And Joe Reed is a Charger. Number to 199, that was for the Broncos, and it happened to be Mr. John Elway there on the front of it. A mini. Howie Long, Legends, Raiders, unnumbered. And our other mini, let's grab him real quickly. That mini is Hunter Bryant, and it is numbered to 100. Oh, okay. So you said, James, you said you have a blue mini Tua that you're going to send in to get graded? Ah, well, what is blue in here? To 50? Is that right? I've got to think about what are those minis in here in blue to 50, I believe. Bigger size 50. Blah, 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 blah. The bigger size blue ones are numbered to 50, so I think the mini are too. I mean, yeah, anytime that you want to add something to your personal collection or you want to sell it, either way, then yeah, I would say have it graded. So that's kind of what you're asking, right? If you should. So I'm saying if you want to keep it yourself, or if you might want to, or if you want to sell it, it usually will sell a little better when it's graded. But you also have to weigh that out with a couple of other things. Number one, grading is not super, super cheap, nor is it particularly fast these days. That is numbered to $2.99. Now, they may have caught up some. There for a while, they were so far behind that you had, I mean, some of this stuff, these companies were taking 6-9 months to get stuff back to people. And in that case, I would say, ooh, no, if they're still that backed up, don't do it. If you're going to sell it, right? If you're going to keep it, it wouldn't matter. But if they're getting things back out in a reasonable time frame now, then I would say, yeah, if you want to sell it, it's probably worth it. Speaking of whether or not it's worth it, how about the Ravens? You've got a J.K. Dobbins that I think will be worth it, and that happens to be numbered to 100 as well. But a lot of that, too, is personal preference, James, because myself, I like to be able to pick up a card and, like, hold it in my hands if it's mine and I own it. This is numbered to 25. It's KJ Hill. And, of course, once they're graded, it's not like you can't pick them up and hold them. You still can, but they're in that big, chunky case. So it's not the same exactly. You don't have that same kind of feel. So a lot of my stuff that is for me personally that I never intend to sell or do anything with, well, I'm probably the person who chooses not to have it graded for that reason. But I know plenty of other people who, even their personal stuff, they want it all graded if it's good, you know, if it's worth some money, which makes sense because it protects it and it makes it easy if you did ever want to resell it. People always prefer to buy the things that are graded, which again makes sense. as long as it grades high. That's the other thing you got to keep in mind. If it doesn't grade to at least a 9, I wouldn't send it in if it didn't grade at least to a 9 with no autograph and being what it is. So, and again, that's just a guess. You have to just look at it and kind of think to yourself, like, is this going to get dinged for this or that or the other thing? And because you're just guessing how they're going to grade it. You don't know, of course. Although you can, I believe Beckett will let you, either Beckett or PSA DNA, one of the two, maybe both. There's a place you can indicate, like if it doesn't grade at least XYZ, just return it to me ungraded kind of thing. Of course, you've still had to pay the postage there and back, but you don't have to pay the fee, I guess. Or maybe you pay part of the fee. I don't know. I've never used that part of it. I know it can be utilized, but I personally have never sent one in with those parameters. So, yeah, I would definitely say, call them and ask them how far off the mark they are. I've done that before. And PSA, for sure, has always told me, like, yeah, we're running about whatever it is, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 2 weeks right now. Now, I've never called Beckett to ask them that, but you could call and ask them. And, of course, they have expedited services, but I wouldn't use it for the card you're talking about, because those expedited services are quite expensive often. You know, the stuff where they turn it around in a week or whatever the case might be, so... Yeah, if you're looking to sell it before he starts playing, then you may not have time to get it back graded. But again, I would just check with those services and see what they tell you, what time frame they're on, and let that be your deciding factor. It's numbered to $2.99, but a lot of times it is tough to get them turned around quickly these days, it seems, because just there's so many breaks, generating so many cards, and people are sending things in more and more to be graded. That was to $1.99, the Panthers. And then, of course, the companies themselves, right? They've been all releasing products that have graded cards as part of their products more and more. That is Warren Moon. It's another one for the Oilers / Titans, and it is numbered to 50. So, of course, you know, all those companies are taking up resources, too, to get their stuff graded. Ooh, this is to 5, and this is a little Justin for the Chargers. Isn't he flashy? I think we'll put him in a case. What do y'all think? I think he should, being numbered to 5, I feel like he should go in a case. I also feel like we got another one of his numbered to 5, didn't we? Haven't we pulled 2 of his that are numbered to 5? 2 of the 5? I think we have. Yeah, we did pull another really low numbered one of him a case or 2 back. And I really do think it was also to 5, in which case that would be crazy if there are 5 in the whole product and we managed to pull 2 of the 5, right? Isn't that nuts? I think we did, though. I think we did. All right, so let's make sure he's all happy in there. And there he is. So, how about that, right? Nice little hit there for the Chargers. Let's just grab our other one. I see it sitting there. We'll just grab it right off the top. Won't make you wait on it. Jermichael Hasty, the other autograph out of this box. And Jermichael Hasty goes to the 49ers. Here's an Under the Lights Prism. Lamar Jackson. It is not numbered. This is numbered. It is to 150. Tampa Bay Buccaneers and Godwin. And a little baby one, a little mini. And we cut the deck on a mini over there too, so we'll get both of those right now. Preston Williams, that one's for the Dolphins. And next out, it is not wanting to go in the sleeve because I didn't have the sleeve open. And that is Leighton Vander Esch. It's numbered to 75, and it's going to the Cowboys. You laugh, but I swear to you, sometimes those little sleeves are like trying to get a produce bag open at the grocery. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like they have those bags always near the produce that are just in a big continuous reel, and you pull it off. You know, it's perforated. You can separate it from its big line of bags pretty easily, but then sometimes it's like you can't find the opening. You can't get it open, and you're sitting there going, you know, you look like a third grader, or well, not even a third grader, and get a bag open. I don't know. Look like a 3-day-old maybe fighting with it, trying to get it open. That's always me. I'm at the grocery store, never able to get those stupid produce bags open. Number 210, it's the Seahawks and Chris Carson going to Seattle, baby. You think that you don't think that he'll play this year at all? Oh, I kind of thought they would get a look at him, but you don't think so? I mean, I'm not saying like an extended look, not like he would play every week or anything, but I certainly thought they'd get a look at him. But, I mean, you might be right. It would make sense for them to be more conservative with him, absolutely, considering that injury. However, the last I heard, his rehab was doing wonderfully well. So, I don't know. I thought we'd get a look at him sooner rather than later. And I thought we'd get a look, and then they'd put him on the shelf probably and let Fitzpatrick play, and then they'd bring him out again depending on how the season went. But you're right. It would make more sense for them not to do that. You're not sure he'll complete a whole year no matter what? Wow. Just because of the injury? I mean, he's a little bit undersized for sure, but so are a lot of other guys that do quite well for themselves, i.e. Russell Wilson. In year one of Baker Mayfield, not so much sophomore year, but his year one, Baker looked good too. He's slightly undersized for the position, anyway. Well, I don't know. We'll see how it plays out, but he's fun to watch, I hope. I do hope we get a good look at him, so. I'd like to get a lot of these older quarterbacks. I'm kind of ready to cycle some new blood in there. Especially after watching Pat Mahomes. I adore watching that kid play. I just love the way he plays. He just has so much fun, and he's obviously quite talented, but he also is just out there having fun. And you can tell how much he loves what he does. And he's very creative, and he has a lot of inventive plays and throws that I don't think other people could make. And I like watching that. It's fun. And a lot of the younger guys are more entertaining. Is that the word I'm looking for? Yeah, I think that's the word I'm looking for. Their style of play is fun to watch, more so than, well, say you're Phillip Rivers or something. Numbered to 100, it's a Michael Pittman Jr., one of our autographs, making an appearance quite early out of this box, going to, speaking of Phillip Rivers, going to the Colts. And then we have that little orange parallel there of Devin Duvernay. It is numbered to 199. Dang it, minis. They keep showing up out of nowhere and then sliding around. This is Brian Edwards. It's numbered to 100, and fortunately, he also looks fine. I think he's, again, landed kind of on the flat side, but it is frustrating to me that they're just not any warning as to where they're going to be in the pack. But anyway, that was Brian Edwards, and of course, goes to the Raiders. There's a Grant Delpit under the lights. And then one of our lovely little block cards. To tell you, I do quite well love those blank cards like that, those blocks. I love them very much. I use them for shipping, and I always look forward to products that have them in it. To 299, that was Bryson Hopkins. So what does everybody think about the fact that the Redskins have finally given in and they're going to change their name? Sounds like all the names, not all the names under consideration, but several of the names under consideration sound kind of similar, like Warriors and whatever, although not specifically, obviously, Redskins, which is not a good term. Courtney Davis to 150. I think Red Tails was another one that was under consideration, but I believe that has to do with honoring some of the African American pilots back in the day. I believe that's what the Red Tails was in reference to. Warriors, I guess, is just, you know, whatever. All right, Courtney Davis comes up with an autograph this time. What did I call his name out for a minute ago? Something else. A numbered card, right? Didn't we just have him for a numbered card? I think so. Now we've got him with an autograph, and I believe he is the Vikings. You said, then again, we are talking about Miami. Talking about what they'll do with Tua. You know, I started to say something to that effect earlier, and then I thought, nah, that's not right. I shouldn't say that. I probably wouldn't, you know, so much of that stuff's just a judgment call. You don't know what's the right way to go. Gardner Minshew to 50 for the Jags, and they're just, I guess, making the best decisions they can make as they go along. This is Xavier McKinney. Prism Chrome, but not numbered. You know, I'm always criticizing my Cincinnati Reds because I think they make some really weird front office moves. But then I'm like, if I was doing the job, I probably wouldn't do any better. There's a Derek Brown mini. But I have to say, it doesn't stop me from second-guessing them and criticizing them. So, shame on me, right? I don't know. Let us have a crack at the job, right? Give a layman a shot at the job and see if we can do better than some of these GMs do. Seems like you could, doesn't it? It does to me, anyway. Not all of them. Some of them are quite genius, but there are others when you're like, oh man, I could have done better than that. James, you said you're glad that your Braves, I'm assuming you're saying didn't change their name, because I just see that it says did not. You saw on social media someone said they should be called the Washington Pansies. Oh no, that's not nice. That's not nice at all. Listen, I'm not going to call anybody who plays football a pansy, because I'm going to tell you what. You would not find me out there getting piled on by like a dozen 300-pound guys after they chase me down the field. No, sir. No. No way. Those guys take a ton of abuse playing that game. There is I don't care who you are, from the kicker on. I'm not calling you a pansy if you're playing football. Or really any professional sport for that matter, because it takes a tremendous amount of work and discipline to get to the pro ranks and then to stay there. But football in particular is just so punishing on the body. Well, if I could get under the edge of the wrapper, man, wouldn't that be nice? Just another reason why I hate panini wrappers. Because you can't tear them from the top like you can with Topps wrappers. To get under that dumb seam. And when I keep breaking all my nails off, guess what? It makes it harder to get under that dumb seam. Well, boy. All right. Ooh, a mini. Let's grab him so he didn't go sliding off anywhere. And that is headed to the Rams, and it's numbered to 25 on top of that. So there you go, Rams. Higbee mini to 25. That is numbered to 199, Kansas City Chiefs. And Pat Mahomes. So I'm kind of looking forward to Luminance this week. I always have liked that particular product. Although didn't last year, didn't they switch? Oh, wait a minute, shoot. I just stacked the base in there. Hang on one second. Let me get the base back out. Last year, didn't they move Luminance on the calendar and we have them in their pro uniforms, or did I stream that? It's numbered to 299, the Jets. I know when it first came out, it was definitely collegiate uniform. For some reason, I thought last year, you know what, though? It might have been that we had them in their pro uniforms in, like, Chronicles. That might be what I'm thinking of. It could have been that we were still collegiate in the original Luminance break, and then in Chronicles they did some inserts of them in their pro uniforms. That might be the way it was. I don't know. Anyway, I'm looking forward to it. Luminance is a fun product. That is numbered to 75, and it is Derwin James for the Chargers. And the other nice thing about it, it is not bloated. In other words, it doesn't have a ton of base cards. It's got some. It's got enough that it's interesting. It's to 299, Tyler Johnson. Or, again, I'm working off of last year's product information. So they could have changed the configuration, but I'm going to assume they didn't. At least probably not by much. So that's kind of nice that there's not 80 zillion base cards in it. So I do like that. Okay, we have got Brandon Ayuk. That is numbered to 299. And it goes to the Niners. 49ers. Brandon Ayuk. Little, whoops, hey, see, there was one stuck to it. That's why I always show you both sides of it. Usually it's not paper cards that get suction to it. It's often chrome type cards that they'll get a little static and get stuck to those white cards. But I still, just out of habit, I always flip them. And every once in a while, well, you'll see what we just saw. You said, James, you were born a Braves fan and a Steelers fan, but you're also a Panthers fan. All right. Well, that's spreading the love around. I can be about that. There is the Dolphins and Preston Williams. You got a little veteran autograph. He, again, is a year 2 player like the Devin Bush we saw earlier for the Steelers. Numbered to 150, Ezekiel Elliott and the Cowboys. Yeah, I mean, the Steelers are unquestionably my team, but I also do often enjoy watching other teams play, and there are certain players that really are a lot of fun. As I mentioned earlier, Pat Mahomes is a guy I like to watch play, so I don't watch just my Steelers exclusively, but they are for sure my team. There is a mini Tua. It's just a base mini, but that is also going to the Dolphins. Alrighty, we are cutting a path through it, making some progress here. Did I just knock my... Oh, no, I knocked one of those little things off. I didn't know what that was. I felt something hit the floor down there. I'm thinking I knock off all my sleeves. No, I knocked off the little blank card. Alright, there's your empty box. I know, another habit. I always show you the inside of the box. Well, that's just, so we know everything's out of it. In that box design, it's pretty easy to know everything's out of it, but there are some boxes, the way they are designed inside, packs can kind of slip down behind the insert that's in there that's meant to display them in the retail store and things like that. And one time we did find a pack stuck in one, and that's the way we found it, exactly, by looking at it just like that. So well, we've seen everything over the years. There was one, what was it? There was one product, I want to say it was a football product of some sort. And this has been, I don't know, within the last year or two anyway. And we were opening it. It might have even been like a Legacy or Classics, which came prior to Legacy. And in the very front of the box, when you took the overwrap off, were just loose cards, not even in a pack. And the autograph for the box was in those loose cards that were just sitting there in the front of the box. It was the strangest thing. So somehow or another they had gotten put in there with no wrapper. Weird, right? And then there was the time we opened a case of Bowman, and we were only breaking half the case, fortunately, at that time. I think it was Bowman Chrome. I don't think it was regular Bowman. And it was jumbo, and I opened it up, and it was, sealed from the factory. Had just come in, like that day or whatever. Or recently, I should say. It might not have been that exact day. And when I opened it up, it was missing an entire box. A factory sealed case, and they had just left, like, a whole box out. It was crazy. And then, of course, you hear the reports of some of these products. There were a couple products that came out in recent years where a breaker, apparently, I didn't witness this myself, but where other people that broke with me did see it happen, where the guy had like a whole case of something and there was not a single hit in the entire case. So somehow it had gotten out of the factory without any hits being put in it at all, which is crazy. There is a Jake Fromm, and that is the Bills under the lights. And again, it's a prism, but not numbered. So you hear about stuff like that, but sometimes then it flips to the other side as well. So there was an instance of somebody opening, I think it was a museum collection last year or year before last, and every single box that they opened, every single one had a 1 of 1 in it. And so you just know that meant like, okay, well, the rest of us got much worse odds for a 1 of 1 now. That's to $2.99, Aaron Jones, Green Bay Packers. So for sure, funky stuff happens sometimes on these deals that come from the factory, but it's always fun. All right, this is a Legends Joe Namath mini for the Jets. Jets. James, you said you feel like we're doing a two-way podcast because everybody else is asleep. Oh, and you knew Donnie Shell. Okay, yeah, Donnie Shell was a Pittsburgh Steeler. Steelers, baby. Yeah, I love my Steelers. I do. I'm fortunate in the fact that my sister lives in that area. That's to 299 Chase Young. It's first numbered Chase Young we've seen tonight. So, Redskins. And so my brother-in-law is one who, first of all, he's just a really good guy. You know, you ever meet anybody that they're just nice. You can't find much of anything wrong with them. They're just really nice people. and they're nice to everybody, and they're super accommodating, and that's the way my brother-in-law is. And he will sometimes go stand in line and get me really cool Steeler stuff signed. So right as I said, we haven't seen much Chase Young tonight. Now we've got one. It is an Under the Lights. It is mega curved and not numbered. I thought it would be, but it's not. But either way, Redskins, there you go. An Under the Lights Chase Young autograph. And then number 2, 150. There's Randy Moss and the Vikings. So over the years, I've gotten some really good Steelers stuff from my sister and my brother-in-law. Some of it signed, some of it not. But my brother-in-law has always been really cool about doing stuff like that. If there's, an event or a way to go get it signed and he has time, he'll do it and then surprise me with it. It's real nice. Jacob Eason, that is numbered to 100. It goes to the Colts. Here comes Jared Pinkney. That is numbered to 100. It's going to Atlanta. Yeah, Atlanta Falcons. With the Jared Pinkney. Then, number 2, 199, Cortland Sutton and the Broncos. And here comes a little mini. A little baby. And it is numbered to 100. It's KJ Hamler. And I feel like we have seen him about 85 times. We probably haven't. It's probably because I sorted a ton of stuff today and I saw him in that. But it feels like I've seen him 85 times. Probably haven't. Anyway, KJ Hamler, mini to 100, Broncos. That's what we had. All right, this is box number, 10 of 12. Didn't they used to do, in fact, I know they did. They used to do, this product took the place of Classics. You guys probably remember Classics. And so they did away with Classics and they came out with Legacy. And Classics used to be in 10-box cases. And there'd be about as many cards per box as we have in Legacy. But only 10 boxes to a case. And they came along with Legacy and they make it 12 boxes to a case. 24 in a master, but that's just semantics. That's basically just making you buy 2 cases at once. I mean, let's get real. That's what it is. Because all they do is put 2 12-box cases in a bigger box and say, ooh, it's a master case. Oh, all right then. Why don't you just sell them in 12-box cases and save some packaging and not do that? But no, they don't. They don't do that. Because I think that they expect most people will get a quote-unquote master case, and then you can sell them 2 cases at once. But Who knows what their crazy theories are? You had never had a terrible towel? Oh, I love terrible towels. And your buddy from Pittsburgh gave you one. In fact, I have got a terrible towel, one of the pink ones that they do for breast cancer awareness. They had some kind of a signing event or some kind of something, and that's one of the things my brother-in-law got signed for me by Big Ben himself several years ago. And then after one of their Super Bowls, he got a DVD of the Super Bowl. You know how they sell them after the fact, but he got it autographed by some of the players. That is numbered to 100 and Under the Lights, Brandon Ayuk. We saw him a minute ago, and yeah, all of a sudden you go from nothing to a bunch, don't you? So there you go, Niners. Oh, but terrible towels are fun. I love them. I don't know why I love them as much as I do, but I really do. I've got several of them. That's numbered to 199, the Packers. Yeah, if they come out with like variations and stuff, I'm always like, ooh, yeah, I want that one and that one and that one. All right, there is a Devin Bush base mini for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Speaking of terrible towels, Lucas is here. Hi, Lucas. Oh, you read the time wrong and you're just joining us and you want to know if we have had any hits yet for the Panthers. I do not think so. Now, I wouldn't swear that you haven't had something numbered or some kind of parallel or something like that. I wouldn't swear to that. But I don't recall any autographs or relics. Of course, we'll be recapping it after we look at the rest of it. That was numbered to 25, and it was a Zach Moss that just went by there. This is Buffalo Bills. There's another little mini. And now what's the rest? What'd you say there, James? I got all excited after the terrible towel, didn't I? Went off on a tangent. You said, where's your Cam Akers autograph? Oh, yeah. Cam Akers is usually not too awfully hard to pull. It's numbered to 75, Cortland Sutton, mini, Broncos. But yeah, we haven't seen him tonight, so I don't know. Of course, we got some yet to go, so he may yet turn up. We'll try. A Jerry Jeudy Under the Lights. It is a prism, but it is not numbered. And here's another one to 25. And look at that. Right. That is my man, Rod Woodson. Love me some Rod Woodson. Steelers. I didn't say Steelers, but you probably figured that out, didn't you? This is Kalijah Lipscomb. We saw him earlier. We see him again. And I believe that one was numbered, this one that we just saw, numbered to 399, going to Kansas City. Headed to the Chiefs. Oh, see, another one stuck. Oh, that's been two tonight. Trying to hitch a ride on the back there, hasn't it been? And that is numbered to 199, Philadelphia Eagles. And yeah, you know I'm going to move those little stacks. You especially have to this year, though, because they spin around so much with all the chrome in there trying to act all crazy. To 299, Terry Bradshaw and Pittsburgh Steelers. There's an Under the Lights base to no refractor, unnumbered. Mini. George Kittle. And that is for San Francisco 49ers. Hey, while I'm thinking about it, do either of you know, I guess I could Google this. That didn't occur to me before, but I don't know why. I think because I was in a hurry when I was answering the question earlier. I was trying to get some stuff ready and out the door, and I was in a hurry. It didn't even occur to me. But Does anybody know how far Central Time is behind Eastern Time? Just because Lucas was talking about the time in the listing. Somebody emailed me today and wanted to know, I don't even think it was about this break. I can't remember what break it was about. But anyway, they wanted to know what time 9 o'clock Eastern was in Central Time. And I have no idea. I probably should know that, but I don't. I know Pacific Time because I used to live in California. And I know Eastern Time because I live in the Eastern Time Zone. But I don't know about Central and Mountain and all that stuff. I want to say Central is maybe an hour or two behind Eastern, but I also think Central is the one that doesn't observe daylight savings time or something, so maybe they're not always as far ahead or behind as sometimes they are. I don't know. It all seemed very confusing. You say it is 1 hour behind. Okay. Thank you, Alex. And so, but is that right, though, about the Central Time Zone? About, do they not observe daylight savings time? Or is that maybe only part of it and not all of it? I know there's some hinky stuff going on with DST in some places, and I thought it was Central. So then I was doubly confused, and I thought, man, I'm not going to give somebody the wrong answer. And they'll show up at the wrong time and be so mad at me. I should have Googled it then. I don't know why. I was in a hurry. I guess I didn't think about it. He says only part of the Central Time Zone doesn't observe daylight savings time. That is super confusing. I don't know. Yeah. Well, there you go. So Central is an hour behind Eastern. Now we know. Except for maybe the part that doesn't do daylight savings time. And that could be any time of the day there. We don't know. Maybe it's noon there. No, I'm kidding. Obviously, we know it's not noon, but... That's your education system at work right there, kids, that I couldn't remember that. Ay, ay, ay. Although more a reflection on me than my education, I think. Okay, we have got number 150. That is Courtney Davis. Number 299. That was John Randall. But hey, at least they taught us how to read and write cursive, so there is that. And then my sister was telling me something about, I don't know, I couldn't even figure out what the heck she was talking about. Something about the way they're teaching math now being completely different than what I have known it to be. About that it's not, you just don't learn, like 2 plus 2 is 4. You have to go through some whole other process before you arrive at that I don't know. I didn't even know what the heck she's talking about. It's number 299, the Panthers. I was just basically going, boy, all right, I'm glad I don't have to do any homework help anymore. It's like, oh, thank goodness, because I don't know if I would be able to follow that. It says Jamichael Hasty. That is a base rookie Chrome Prism unnumbered. So, yeah, I wish I could think what she called it. I don't remember, though, what it is that she called it. It has a different name, whatever that process is for the way they teach math these days. James says he thinks Brady is better than Montana. Oh. Wow. Well, I don't know about that. I'm not weighing in on that. I will let you start an internet war with someone else in chat. I am not weighing in on that. No, sir. This little mini here is DK Metcalf. It is numbered to 50 for the Seattle Seahawks. Ooh, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, you do make a good point, though, about had he played in the 70s, he wouldn't be playing at his age. Yeah, no, he would have been decimated. I mean, they hit you way harder then, and they didn't care if they gave you concussion or anything else. Grant Delpit, that is the Browns, right? I think it's the Browns. It's under the lights. It's the card set. That's numbered to 199, the Chargers. Yeah, you let Mean Joe Green come knock you around for a couple of years, you're going to be playing quarterback in your mid-40s. No. I mean, these days you pretty much have to, if you want to sack them, you kind of have to gently lay them on the ground. You can't even hardly look at a quarterback these days without a penalty or a fine of some sort. So they should be able to play longer. They're not getting obliterated weekly. All right, number 215. Ooh, nice. Jacob Eason. So the Colts come up with a nice one, number 215. Water break. Oh, well, we left a couple up here. I left a couple up here. I guess we didn't. I did. And there they are. All right, we are rolling into what we like to call last box mojo around here. So this is the point where we kind of collectively focus our efforts, focus our energy, our mojo, if you will, and see if we can't manage to pull something really smoking hot out of our last box. I hope that we can. We're going to try to. And so here's how the next few minutes are going to go down. We are, of course, going to open all these packs and look at all these cards here in our lovely last box. At the conclusion of that, we will come along and deal with our dual signed card there. We've got two different teams involved with that. So we'll take a look at it and use random.org to find a new home for it. And then we will use random.org again to give away those 400 Panini rewards points. And after we do all of that fun stuff, we will recap our autographs, our relics, our rip card, and let's say our lower numbered stuff, like things that are maybe 50 and lower that aren't autographed or relics. So that's kind of the plan for the next few minutes here. Yeah, I bet we will end up clocking in at about an hour and 45 tonight. I estimated 1:30 to 1:45, but honestly, I don't know that I've ever gotten this done in an hour and 30. Maybe once or twice, but you really have to be flying to get it done in an hour and 30. I'm worried about the state of Texas right now, too. Because you remember, not all that long ago, we had all of our new releases just shut down. There were none because the printing plant itself had to close down. It's based in Texas. And we're just now kind of, still not quite back to normal, but it's getting closer to normal as far as the releases getting sorted out and back on track and all that. But now all this stuff you hear coming out of Texas, it's like, uh-oh, I'm worried they're going to shut back down again, and then we'll be without product again. Of course, that should be the least of my worries. If they have to shut back down, we should be worried about the people, and I am, but you know what I mean, thinking globally. Well, how about that? Right in time for you to see it, so you weren't too late. There is a Panther right there, Lucas. A Derek Brown autograph goes to Carolina, baby. And then we've got red, 299, Antonio Gandy Golden. So, yeah, I don't know. Every day I'm watching the news about waiting to see if they've said anything else about Texas. Because, oh my gosh, I do not want them to have that happen again. But, I mean, you know, what are you going to do? If they've got to do it to keep people safe, we can't complain about not getting sports cards, that's for sure. Number to 50, Jamison Crowder and the Jets. Of course, last time I had enough of a backlog of things that I kept us busy through the whole shutdown. I still had stuff, and I rationed it, and that's when I started taking both weekend days off, Saturday and Sunday. Denzel Mims, numbered to 100 with a mini. So, yeah, I got, had plenty to keep us busy with stretching it out by, you know, only working 5 days instead of 6. But if they come back and hammer us again, I don't have much stockpiled because, well, we went through it all. And then we're getting less of all the new stuff because they're not up to full capacity quite yet. Larry Fitzgerald, number to 50. That is the Cardinals. So, I don't know. Oh, I just looked back over there. You said Brady is not better than Montana. I thought you said he was better than Montana a minute ago. When I read that the first time, I thought you said Brady was better. You said he was not better. Oh, okay. Well, that's probably not likely to start as many fights as DJ Chark and the Panthers. I thought you said the opposite of that till I just looked over and reread that first sentence, and I was like, oh, I missed the very important not in there the first time. Number to 100, it is Van Jefferson with a little parallel there. I cannot remember where Van Jefferson goes. Hang on. The Rams. Rams and Van Jefferson. All right. Oh, we already looked at that. Okay, so we have this fella here, and he is numbered to 199. That is AJ Epensa. We've seen him in some other inserts along the way tonight. Speaking of Tom Brady, there he is, and under the lights, note he has Patriots on that card, so that's where it's going to go. Anytime a team name is actually listed on the card, it will, of course, go there, but sometimes, like with our rookies, there isn't one. So that's why we send it to their current team in those cases. Number to 100, Michael Pittman Jr. All right, we are closing in on it here, kids. This is an under the lights Herbert. Chargers. It is a prism, but it is not numbered or anything. All right, here comes our last hit of the night. And it is Chenault, and numbered to 149. There is your LaVisca Chenault to wrap up our hits tonight. And that is the Jags. But as I mentioned, we do have a little housekeeping stuff that needs to be attended to. So we're going to take care of that prior to our recapping. It's going to be dealing with these two items here, but meanwhile I am going to go ahead and just kind of get this situated the way that I want it to be anyway. And then give me 1 second. I'm going to organize I'm going to organize our numbered stuff real quickly just because I think it'll make it a little easier if I do. Yeah, that'll make it, I think, a little bit quicker anyway, if they're sort of somewhat like grouped with like in terms of the numbering and such. First things first, dual signature card. Jalen Hurts, Eagles. CD Lamb, Cowboys. And if the same person, unless the same person owns both teams, we're going to have to go to random.org. If we do, it's going to work like this. I'm going to type in the Eagles first because Jalen Hurts, you see, appears on the top of the card. On the bottom of the card is CD Lamb, and that's the Cowboys. Or you could also look at it as left to right. Either way, it's going to be the same answer. Eagles get typed in first, Cowboys get typed in second. Now, when I do random, we do it the same way every single time, and it works like this. When there are 10 or fewer items in a list, we do random, well, 9 or fewer technically in a list. We do random 3 different times. The first 2 times do not count. Only the third and final random makes the determination. Now, when we have 10 or more, which is what we will have when we use the rewards points, we do random only 1 time. So when we do the card, we're doing random 3 times. The third one tells the story. When we get to the rewards points, because we'll be copying and pasting 33 items in there, the 32 teams and then the base bidding position, that one will only run once. So if you have any questions about how that works, now is the time to hit me up about them. Meanwhile, let's go take a little peek over here at our spreadsheet, and what we're going to do is make sure that we have 2 different team owners, because if it's the same person, we don't have to worry about any of this, right? So the Eagles, that is Jeff Stone 79, and then the Dallas Cowboys here is Just Stuff 08. So we do have 2 different team owners, so we are, in fact, going to have to wander over here to random and get this taken care of. So let's get it rocking. All right, so as I said, Eagles first, Cowboys second, based on the way they appear on the card. Okay, so remember it is the third random, so you ignore the first one, you ignore the second one. Here comes our third and final, and there you will see 3 times our date and time stamp. That card is going to the Cowboys. All right, so that is this card right here going to the Dallas Cowboys, the CD Lamb part of the card. Now, it's in a sleeve. I'm obviously never going to write on a card itself with a Sharpie or anything else. But for the sake of argument, there you go. Wrote on it, it's a sleeve there. And that's just so that I know later where that goes and we don't have to come back and watch all this again. Now, this 400 Panini rewards points. We got to go back to the spreadsheet. We're going to copy all 33 bidding positions, our 32 teams, and also the base card spot, because they're a paid spot as well. They get a shot at this too. So all of that is copied. Then we're going to go back over here to random and get all the way back to the home position. Oh, look, it's doing something interesting. Okay. And we're going to run random again. Now I'm going to scroll through here so you can see all the teams were properly added to it, copied and pasted there from the spreadsheet. And 33 items means we're going to run random 1 time. Whoever ends up number 1 afterwards, 400 points go to you. And it comes up, oh my gosh, what are the odds of that? It comes up the Cowboys again. I mean, the odds of that are astronomically high that would happen. But it did. So there you go. Cowboys definitely won random tonight, didn't they? They were all about luck for the Cowboys. Okay, so we'll take a quick little spin through our minis. I'm not going to flip them all over again and all that because there are a lot of them. But some people are interested in the minis in particular, so I do try to accommodate that by at least incorporating a front-facing recap of it, even though we don't flip them all to the back on the second pass. Of course, we did originally when we pulled them, so there is that. Now, let's look at our rip card and what is numbered that isn't an autograph or a relic attached. So, it is numbered to 25. It goes to the 49ers with Jimmy Garoppolo, the Dare to Tear card. 1 per case, those come out. Numbered to 25, it's Troy Aikman and the Cowboys. To 25, Tomlinson, the Chargers. Then you have KJ Hill. That is also numbered to 25. And KJ goes to the Chargers. Numbered to 25, that's Rod Woodson, headed to the Steelers. And then you've got Zach Moss. He is also numbered to 25. And Zach goes to the Buffalo Bills. Numbered to 50, that is Julio Jones and the Falcons. Oh, how did he get in there? He's not numbered to 50. We'll get back to him. Numbered to 50, Fitzgerald and the Cardinals. 50, the Jets and Crowder. 50 for Gardner Minshew and the Jags. And to 50 for Warren Moon for the Oilers/Titans. Of course, we discussed all the nuances behind that earlier, and you can also find it in the listing description down at the bottom in the renamed relocated franchises section. Chris Carson, Seahawks, numbered to 10. A chrome numbered to 50, that is Jake Fromm, and a chrome red numbered to 50, AJ Epensa. And they are both Buffalo Bills. All right, trucking on along here. We have got Preston Williams for the Dolphins, followed by a little Ayuk here, numbered to 299, and that goes to the 49ers. And then you have Courtney Davis. He is a Viking. Next up is Michael Pittman Jr., and I believe he was he numbered to 100? I think he was. It's the Colts. Jermichael Hasty. I'm just making sure I'm not calling any of this out wrong. 49ers. J.K. Dobbins. That is the Ravens. And then you have Joe Reed. And Mr. Joe Reed is going to the Chargers. There's Keyshawn Vaughn coming out next. And Keyshawn Vaughn is going to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And then there's Kalijah Lipscomb, who I want to say we have more of. I think we've got more than one of him in here tonight. Although maybe the other could have been numbered and not autograph or relic. But anyway, Kalijah is Kansas City Chiefs. Steven Montez is the Redskins. And then you have Devin Bush for the Steelers. Next up, Cole Kmet. That is the Bears. And then you have Cole Kmet again. That's also the Bears. They both came out of the same box, if you can believe. The Cowboys getting the 400 rewards point card, and that was by way of random.org. The Cowboys getting this dual signed card, and that was by way of random.org. So the Cowboys getting that nice looking hit headed to them. And then you have Laviska Shenault coming out next. That goes to the Jags. There's Derek Brown for the Panthers. Jacob Eason for the Colts. There's a little Grant Delpit out behind that. And Grant goes to, oh my gosh, why did I just blank? The Browns. The Browns. I don't know, went blank there for a second. There's your other Kalijah Lipscomb. I was pretty sure we had two. We do. There's the other one. There's Brandon Ayuk. That goes to the 49ers. Then you have Jared Pinkney. That's the Falcons. Followed by Chase Young for the Redskins. And then this little beauty here, Justin Herbert for the Chargers. And it's numbered to 5. And the even freakier thing about it is, I think we pulled another one of these numbered to 5. I really do. I think we pulled, of the 5 available, I think we've pulled 2 of them. I think we have. Anyway, that is Justin Herbert for the Chargers. So that takes care of the break tonight and the recap. What I'm going to do now is put up shipping information, and we'll take another look at what's coming up in the days ahead. If you missed either of those things earlier and you want the 411, stay tuned. Here it comes. I am hoping to have this stuff shipped out roughly Friday. Now, there's a real distinct possibility that it could roll into Saturday. This takes absolutely forever to sort and get ready to get out the door. So, yeah, Friday is my hope. It could possibly be Saturday, but I hope Friday. And if you got skunked tonight, there's really only one team in here that has the possibility of maybe not, well, there's probably more than one that has the possibility of, but there's only one that I have found in the past that sometimes doesn't get hits. If that happened to you tonight, you will still get a package in the mail. It will have consolation card or cards in it, and they would ship out when the rest of the break goes out the door. Now, taking a look at what comes up in the days ahead. So tomorrow night, we're going to break a 5-box case of TriStar Game Day Greats Autograph Football Jerseys Series 2, and then a case of Finest Baseball. On Wednesday, we've got 2 new releases, Obsidian Basketball, Luminance Football. The basketball will be by a half case, Luminance by the full case, and in both instances, they will be loose boxes, okay? So not a sealed case, but a case quantity of Luminance, and it'll be half, basically half came out of one case, half came out of another, coming from 2 different places. Then on Thursday, it's going to be Absolute Baseball. That's going to be by the full case, and it will have loose boxes as well from shared cases. Then on Friday night, we are once again at a loose box break in a half case quantity, which is 4 boxes of 2020 Bowman Jumbo Baseball, also known as HTA, one and the same, Jumbo and HTA. Then Saturday and Sunday will both be off nights. And that, I believe, has got me wrapped up for tonight. Let me see if we missed anything in chat here. Oh, James, well, thank you. He says he enjoyed talking to me and keeping me awake. Hey, listen, I appreciate it, James. You know I like having the company, so I'm always grateful when people chat and hang out and keeps it interesting. So thank you very much for hanging out with me. I appreciate you. So thanks everyone for being here. As always, I appreciate you very much. I hope that you have a great week ahead. Come back and see me, right? I'm going to be doing this again tomorrow night and all week, all through Friday night. So if I don't see you tomorrow, stop back and see me some other time. I always enjoy having the company. So until next time, stay safe and happy and healthy, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye now.